Hello, my name is Daniel Schonk. I work at Kent State University with the Department of Resident Services. In terms of working with international students, I will be the individual that you'll have the most contact with from the department before your arrival. We'll communicate via email about your housing contract, how to apply for housing, as well as the early arrival and temporary housing process. Right now I just want to kind of talk about some of the different questions and information that you'll need to know as an incoming international student who will either be living on campus or who will be staying in our temporary housing program. First, in terms of finding information about the residence halls, we have our housing website, which is www.kent.edu/housing. On our website, you will find a copy of our view book. What that is you can download a PDF version that we make available to students that talks about all of our different residence halls, as well as the different services and amenities that are provided within the halls. Additionally, online you will be able to find a link that will give you more information about each residence halls, such as what type of room they have, whether it's a two-person room, whether the building offers singles. We also have a building on campus that offers apartment-style setting. All of that information is online and available to the students. Another thing to take into account when you're looking at which residence halls you would be interested in living in online is most of our residence halls will close down over what we call winter and spring break. Winter break is the few weeks between the fall semester as well as the spring semester when the university closes, and spring break is a week in the middle of the spring semester where the university closes. When the university does close, we do keep a few residence halls open, and we encourage our international students who will need to stay on campus during those break periods to select to live in one of our break residence halls. Those residence halls are Beale Hall, Centennial Court C, Kuntz Hall, Korb Hall, Liebrecht Hall, as well as Engelman Hall. Wright Hall is also one of our break residence halls. In terms of applying for housing, you will be able to do that online. Our housing application is linked off of our homepage. When you are submitting your housing application, an important thing to keep in mind is that all Kent State students, whether you're a freshman, sophomore, or an incoming ESL student, we have what we call a 2-year residency requirement. What that means is any student who is under the age of 21 and who is not married is required to live on campus during the first 2 years or 4 semesters of their college career. So again, if you're under 21 and you're not married, you are required to live on campus for the first 2 years. In terms of your housing application, I encourage you to apply as soon as possible, pretty much as soon as you decide to come to Kent State and get your visa and are admitted to the university, apply for housing. The reason that's important is we make housing assignments based on the order that student applications are submitted. So if you wait too long to apply for housing, the options for your residence hall room will be limited. In order to apply for housing, you will need to log onto our website and log into the housing application. In order to do so, you log in with the first part of your Kent State email address. The first part of your Kent State email address is called your Flashline ID. So you will use your Flashline ID and your password to access the housing application. An important thing to note is that in order to apply for housing, you must change your password from the default password that you're first issued. If you have any problems with your password, you forget it or anything like that, our office is not able to reset passwords or look up what your password is. You will need to contact the University Help Desk. Information on your housing application will include a bunch of personal information that you'll give us in order to help match you up with a roommate. You'll also be able to preference which residence halls you would like to live in. Additionally, you will need to make a $225 payment before you can finalize your housing application. And you can do that online with an electronic check or using a credit card or debit card. Our housing assignment process starts in July. In early July, we will start assigning all of the students to a residence hall room. Once you're assigned to a room, we will send you an email to your Kent State email address that includes information about which hall you've been assigned to, of who your roommate is, the different amenities of that residence hall, as well as check-in information. In terms of temporary housing or early arrival, our temporary housing program and early arrival program run together, but they're also two separate programs. In terms of temporary housing, we only offer temporary housing to students during the fall. What temporary housing is starting August 1st, new incoming international students are able to stay in a room. If you're living on campus, you can stay in the room until your academic year room is ready. And if you're not going to be living on campus, you're able to stay in temporary housing until you find an apartment or a house or a place to live off campus and are able to move into that. An important thing to know about temporary housing is only for Kent State students. If you're traveling with family members, whether it be a spouse, kid, or other individuals traveling with you, in order to stay in temporary housing, you must be a Kent State student. We don't have the facilities to offer temporary housing to family members. When you arrive at campus, after you've coordinated either a friend to drop you off or the airport pickup that's offered through the International Affairs Office, you will arrive to the Tri-Towers desk, which is where we are right now. In order to check in, you will need to provide some type of a photo identification. Typically, your passport will, you'll need to provide your passport. You'll also, before you arrive, you'll receive an email with instructions about which desk to check in, as well as check-in times and stuff like that. The good news is this desk is typically open 24 hours, 7 days a week, so it's always open, and there's always a friendly student staff member here to assist with your check-in process. So again, you will need to present your passport or another form of photo identification, and we will have some paperwork for you to sign. We will also then issue you a room key, as well as we will give you directions on how to find your room and be able to answer any other questions that you have. Another service that we do provide is when you check in, if you need a linen packet, we will gladly provide you with a short-term linen packet that includes some sheets, a blanket, a pillow, pillowcase, towels, washcloth, basic linen such as that. This linen packet is for a short term until you're able to adjust to campus and the city of Kent and provide your own. And the only thing that would be required with that is that you do need to return the linen packet when you're done with that.